Hello, welcome. My name is Thomas Russell, graduate student at the University of Alabama, the College of Human Environmental Sciences. And I would like to introduce you to a website that I created called Mr. Russell Social Studies, and the web address is www.mrrussell.net. And this website was created for secondary education students with a concentration in ancient civilizations, and this essentially was developed for my 583 Capstone project. Now, to just give you a little bit of a background about why I actually created this website, during my 582 course and having to develop a literature review, I did a lot of research, extensive research, about this idea of a flipped classroom. And I began to think, how can this idea actually work in my classroom? And through that research, I had the idea of, what if I developed an actual website? What if I gave my students a place where they could go and interact with material and then come into class knowing the content or being introduced to it at home, and then we can increase the level of Bloom's taxonomy, or we're actually using a Danielson model now, and we can dive deeper into the content. And this is where the 583 project came from. This is where the emergence of this site. And what I would like to do in the next few minutes is to essentially just take you through this site, just to give you a little bit of information about what's on it, and the basic layout. Looking at it right here, this is basically the main page. When you go to mrrussell.net, this is the page that comes up, and across the top here, these different tabs. These are the units that we cover essentially in chronological order. And I wanted to design it this way so that students can go on each specific section throughout the year, and it contains all the information that they'll need through the year. Moving to the bottom of this page, I used a free version of Google Calendar. And this calendar will provide students with updates on homework assignments, tests, quizzes, projects, and I even have some information regarding school activities, early dismissals, school cancellations due to holidays, and so forth. Looking at the 18th of November, we had an ancient Egypt map quiz today. So this portion here was designed more of a static model for parents, for students to just see exactly what it is that we have coming up and what some of the expectations are. Now, looking at the root of the actual site itself, we take a look just of the first unit we cover, this geography basics section. Now, all of these different sections here, these extra pages, these are the topics in which we cover. And what I did specifically for just this section alone, if we clue into Mississippi River, I basically provide a little bit of information, and more importantly though, every section here comes with a link. The link here most likely is to some sort of National Park Service, a reliable source. We have found in the past that when students are trying to do a project, specifically here, when we look at geography basics, students are doing a project, a presentation on one of these topics here. And we found that the first thing that they would use is Wikipedia. I want students to know that there are other reliable sources out there in which to gain information, which is why I just simply include a lot of links here and not necessarily a lot of content. I do have sections here for where it says student examples. A lot of times students will look at a rubric, they understand what's being graded, but at times they don't understand what the assignment should look like. So I do provide examples of what other students have done in the past in order to help guide that assignment. It's not necessarily the copy, but you can just use it to gain some ideas. And here we go, you can actually download all of these different PowerPoint slides. Now these I took strictly from Google Docs. Students shared their presentation with me that way. Every section also, I'll just go to Mesopotamia for example. We have a section here of podcasts, videos, and activities. If we go in the activities section, I tried to remain consistent with this. because everything that we do in class, whether it be a test, a quiz, a worksheet, a study guide, a map, I scan it and upload it into the activities section so that the students can look at it, can study it, can learn from it, and basically interact with it. Parents can find out exactly what it is that we are doing in class. I try to tell the parents that they have years, essentially, of research at their disposal. Also, what I did is I created a section of videos. Now, these videos, students can go on and use. This is a good introductory piece so that they can get introduced and acclimated to the actual curriculum itself. We'll use these in school. What I did is I uploaded a lot of these videos from Discovery Education. I try not to use videos from YouTube unless I've created it. The main reason I made this decision is Discovery Education was a very reliable source for me. Sometimes through YouTube I found that our IT department had blocked videos. Students couldn't access them, but I could, which at times was not conducive for what we were doing. And also I found there were some instances where I found a video that I really liked, showed it one year, the next year I went to show it again, and the author ended up taking it down. So that it just didn't help my students, or didn't help what we were doing in class. So either I'm going to create the video or usually find it from Discovery Education to make sure that it's going to remain reliable. The last thing is this ancient civilizations part. Because I have 7th grade students, they play a lot of video games. And gaming is just another form for students to understand this material. I found a variety of games, tours, panoramic views of a lot of iconic places for every single unit that we cover. Students can spend hours having fun, interacting with content, and yet learning it. So this page here, believe it or not, is the most frequently visited page that I actually have on my site. And it's a good page. Students get a lot of information. They can do it at their own pace. So there's a lot here that they can essentially work through. Once again, my name is Thomas Russell, graduate student at the University of Alabama, College of Human Environmental Sciences. I want to thank you for just sort of following me in this brief overview of my 583 Capstone project, the development of my website, and specifically this site, again, was designed to help with the flipped classroom idea. More specifically, we are going to do a one-to-one pilot next year in our middle school, and I believe that this website will really come in handy and help my students not only next year but in future years. Thank you very much.